You are now watching 14A Sports on 15MOFE.com.
Oh, welcome back to the 14A Sports Radio Show.
Yeah.
Green M&Ms.
Peanut butter.
Now I know who Bob Ross is.
Peanut butter.
Serenity now.
Happy little
now.
tree over this happy little bush.
Bob
And
Ross.
this says happy little river.
He's one of the weirdest guys ever.
Is that Jew fro crazy? Very crazy. All right, it's time for Week 12 of the NFL Pick'em Chug segment. Last week, I missed 2 games. I went 2-2, but my head-to-head with Nipsey
Bangers.
definitely did not go as well. I've actually been on a nice little streak head-to-head against Nipsey. I think I've been like 2-0 or 3-0.
This is all
But,
nonsense.
all streaks come to an end, my friend.
This is all
I like.
hearsay.
I'm just seeing now.
Poppycock.
I'm slid right into that second hole,
There you go, buddy.
right in the 2 hole.
Well,
Look at me.
Keith and Nick didn't even make their picks last week.
Whoa.
So we're just going to leave. I might just give them an 0 for 4.
0 for 4.
Oh, yeah. No, you got it.
Yeah, disqualification.
You got it. You guys had any money on this at the end of the year?
Nah, just bragging rights.
We should pony some up for next year.
Well, definitely. Everything's for next year.
We
Everything.
got a lot of things going on.
Well, I'm getting in on this thing next year,
Sucks,
obviously, too.
man. Yeah, I know, because you were a late contestant, so your picks only qualify at the table. But that's cool.
That's all right. I'll take it.
We got it.
I'll take the
Rich's
beers.
Crohn's disease only kicked in like midway through.
Yeah, it's really only going to be me and Mully at the end. It's only going to be a 2-pony horse. I didn't mean to say that. I did not mean to say that.
It's going to be 2 ponies and a dog.
Yeah.
I'll go.
I got no dog in this horse.
I'll go first. I got 2 beers to chug, so I'm gonna go big time on this one to start it off. Me and Nipsey went head to head on the Redskins-Eagles game. Almost had that there at the end, and it sucked because I had to watch this game going into MetLife Stadium as I'm going in there. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have a chance on
There was
this
no
one.
doubt that
You know?
I won that one.
Well, no, you won it,
the
but
Eagles went up huge early.
yeah. Well, then the
Well,
Redskins were coming back, and then RG3 throws that.
Somebody's got to tell RG3 every time you point the
Bullshit.
finger, 3 fingers are pointing back at you. He does not want to hear that. He does not want to hear that.
You know
I'll
what?
tell you what.
Even a touchdown, I don't give it. I couldn't care less.
Santana Moss called him out. If you,
That's
if
what
you
I was
heard
going to
that.
say, man. There's dissension
Yeah.
in Redskin land.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Touchdown
Yeah.
there would have won that for me there. RG3 throws. I think that's what he was trying to do. He's trying to throw that ball in the back of the end zone. Ends up getting picked. He didn't get enough mustard on it.
Well, that was 4th down, though.
No, that was third.
third.
That was third and
Oh, I
1.
thought that was
so then
in
they
the-
would
I
have had a
thought that-
4th and 1.
Yeah.
Washington had a 2nd and 25 on that drive, I believe, that they converted on, which was tremendous. But 24-0 to start that game definitely wasn't looking well.
Has anyone fell farther from grace than RG3
Dude.
as a franchise
Oh, yeah.
quarterback?
We all called that.
He
this
goes.
year.
He goes to the podium and just juxtapose him.
I'm gonna
against
drink
Brady.
my beer. I'm gonna drink my beer.
Go ahead, chug it up.
Brady. They asked Brady about that call, and he said, "Listen, it shouldn't have came." He said, "I didn't see the play. I just kind of want to know what happened, but it shouldn't have came down to that call. We left a lot of plays out there, and it was my fault. I threw a bad ball." He puts it right on himself.
Yeah,
whereas
which you kind of have to as a
you're the
QB.
quarterback. It's your team. Even if it's not your fault, take the responsibility for it. When you go watch tape with your team in private, then
Yeah.
you break it down and see what's up. But now here comes RG3 saying,
Nobody was open.
No one was open. Throws it right on his receivers. Which, if Matt Hasselbeck was breaking
Nicely
down
done,
a film,
by the way.
and Hasselbeck's
You
like,
got
there
it.
was someone open.
Yeah.
And he just didn't
Oh,
throw
yeah,
it to
you
him.
look back, and
Yeah.
of course somebody's going to be open, but I mean, yeah.
But
you
even
gotta-
still, you go to the podium and say, my fault, I made the throw.
I mean,
bad throw.
it's always on you, no matter, especially when you're the quarterback. You always got to say, like, hey, even if the receiver ran the wrong route, you can't be like, oh, yeah, he ran the wrong route.
And listen-
you got to say, hey, that was on me. I made a bad throw. Talk about it in private
Right.
in the locker room. Go on to win the
Well,
next
listen,
game.
RG3's a young guy. He's going to go through these learning
Yeah, but
curves.
it's definitely a learning curve. I feel like Cam Newton kind of had the same
Right.
thing. But going back to RG3, it's not like he's a quiet dude. He's in the commercials. He has the stupid socks. He's coming
he
out
has
the first
stupid
game of the
socks.
season. He's bringing the
Really
he's running out with the
He had
flag.
a soft spot with Walsh there on the socks. I've been waiting to talk about this all year. What has he been wearing on his feet?
Oh, man.
But yeah, got to take
Those are
responsibility.
solid.
Stupid.
Solid socks.
Those are the socks
Solid
you walked
socks.
out of your house with today?
I
Terrible.
mean, they're striped. They're solid. Different colored socks.
Oh, hey,
He's got
camouflage
Mundi socks,
Uh,
Tuesday socks.
Speaking of Michael, we were talking about it, before the show, but I got in touch with the Francescon guys. We're going to have one of those guys on the show.
Nice.
They said,
All right,
they're like, since they came out, they went public with it yesterday.
Huge response on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Like
Boomer and
1,000
Carter were talking about it this
followers
morning.
right away. So they said I believe I forgot the guy's name. It's someone with a K, but he said, and it's total bullshit. Like, you'll definitely be the first interview that we do.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Definitely won't be the first.
rightfully so.
But, I reached out to him day one, asked him to come on. So, we got our name out there. Definitely keep touch with these guys, and we'll have them on. So.
Wait till they see that girls' Hudson Catholic team taking over the camera.
Oh, yeah.
They'll want to jump on that.
All right, well, I'll...
Show them Captain Bayonne.
Who's our next
You know
chugger?
what?
I'll go...
We should bring Captain Bayonne to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just for fun?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, as the 14A Sports mascot?
Exactly.
I like it. All right, I'll hit it
that
next.
was Spanky.
He's a mascot in another sense.
We'll put Spanky in the Captain Bayonne outfit.
No!
We'll see how far that
It'll be
spandex gets.
We'll see what one size fits all really means. But, all right, I'll take it next. Last week, I did well last week. I had Buffalo with the win over the Jets. I had Philly against Walsh. I had my 2-team teas going. Rocked that one with Arizona and New Orleans. Missed on KC, but, I don't know. How does KC not... did you see the brace on Manning's leg? It looked like it was an extra leg that he had on there. And how does KC not touch him all game? I have no idea.
Yeah, you got to give credit to that offensive line. They really stepped up. They
And
played well.
Manning knows it. And he gets the ball out of there.
That's the other
3
thing.
seconds, 2
Yeah.
seconds. You have no time to hit him. I didn't see it happening. I thought they would have covered. And they almost did. But Alex Smith just couldn't get it. I think they got to go for it on that 4th and goal there, where they're, without 1 yard out, but they kick the field goal. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
You got to. I
Gotta win
don't
the
mind
damn
there.
ball game.
Yeah, you take the
Shit.
points. That's
Or at
Anthony
least
style.
cover the
You
9.
get on the bus to win the game. Herm Edwards told me that.
Oh, boy.
That's going to be an interesting rematch.
Cheers to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
going
at
to
home.
decide a division. Yeah, that's huge. And actually, you got Brady Manning.
That's
right,
going
this
from a
week?
1 spot to a 5 spot.
It's huge. It's a tremendous.
As long as
Yeah,
everybody else
huge.
wins out or whatever, blah blah blah. But
No, but it's either 1 or 5 that because of divisions.
well, I'm saying if they don't fall up in a different game that
All right,
you don't
well, it's
foresee
2
or
and a
whatever.
okay, right.
Something else happens that you don't, you're not seeing right now.
Oh, the picks for this week, if they come true, it'll make it a very diabolical stretch run for both teams. I
What?
can't wait.
But am I making a pick now too, or
No, Chug.
All right, I'll check.
All right. So me last week, my upset special: Oakland getting a touchdown over a discombobulated Houston team.
Ding, ding, ding.
They're on the ropes.
Yeah.
And
And
didn't
how
play
about
well.
them?
Case Keenum gets benched.
Favored by 10 this week against Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I am taking Jacksonville.
Yeah,
this
I'm
week.
taking Jacksonville too. That Houston team's no good, so I hit that. My upset special won outright. I had Arizona over Jacksonville, laid a touchdown. That Arizona team, Carson Palmer with a huge game. So those are my 2 wins. San Diego, Miami. That game was right there. San Diego again. San Diego just finds ways to lose, man. They really do. They had that game again.
Against Washington,
They
same
had the
thing.
game, to win the game, 1st and goal at the goal line. Another loss, another tough loss, and then I had the Detroit-Pittsburgh game. And where did Ben Roethlisberger come from, man? Where did he come from?
That team.
And that Detroit team, Reggie Bush fumbles. Then he gets another one that wasn't challenged. But so then they kind of put him on a bench. And here comes Bell, who may be one of the best backups.
He's injured now.
Bell's injured.
Yeah.
That NFC North is wide open.
Yeah.
Because no one's
Well,
trying
losing
to
the
claim it.
quarterbacks. You lost Rodgers. You lost Cutler.
Oh, yeah. 3 of the 4.
Well, no, I'm
Jesus.
saying that's the NFC. I meant to say AFC North.
Oh, okay.
With Pittsburgh, Baltimore,
Right.
Cleveland. No, but yeah, I meant to touch on that.
Right, Cincinnati.
But I did say.
All right, chug yours. I didn't even go over my picks. I was just talked about the one that I lost against NFC, but I had Tampa Bay +2 over Atlanta. They smoked them real good. I had the lock of the week over 46 in the Detroit-Pittsburgh game. That was basically done by the end of the first half. That was probably the best chug we've had all year, and that's with the lipper in. Well done, my friend.
Nice.
Well done. And I also the upset was KC over Denver. All right, so let's get into these week's picks.
All right.
I'm gonna make my first pick, and then I'm gonna chug my first one, or the last of the ones that I owe. I'm gonna go Dallas +3 this week at the G-Man. Love this one here because you got Dallas coming off of a bye week, and listen, we talked about it earlier. The Giants haven't really, these games that they've won, they haven't won against good quarterbacks. The one game.
So you're saying Tony Romo's a good quarterback?
Yeah, he is a very good quarterback. Now,
All right.
Now, all right, let's look at the Giants' wins so far. You got Josh Freeman. You got
about it all day.
the second week. You got Matt
Whatever.
Barkley.
Your players on your schedule.
Third week, you got Pryor, who a little banged up in that game. and then you got Tolles
He
in this
plays
week.
on your schedule.
But, Dallas smoked the Giants in week 1.
No, they didn't.
They
It's
let,
not
no,
true.
no, no.
Are you serious? They smoked the Giants?
They let the Giants get back into it at the end of the
No,
game.
no,
but
no,
Dallas
no.
had that game well in hand.
No, they didn't. They
Yes,
never
they
had
did.
that game well in hand.
They did. They were up
Cowboys-
like 20
The
points.
Cowboys
on
got 6 turnovers, and the Giants could have won that game on the last drive if they didn't turn the ball over again.
Could have.
Yeah,
They
but
were
they didn't
driving
smoke 'em.
with. It was not even close to
I'll
them
tell you what,
getting blown
every
out.
Giant fan, you get the ball back, it was right at midfield.
I had
Every Giant
every-
fan thinks they're going to win that game. There's no way they smoke.
If they don't get that garbage
Smoked them
bounce
early.
off,
They let them back in. They let
yeah, because
them
they
in.
had 5 turnovers.
Because they're not that good.
The game should never
They
been
are.
that close. The game should never been
The
within
game,
the
all right,
drive.
but let's look at the games that Dallas has lost, okay? They've lost against quality opponents. You got Denver. You had that game against Detroit. They let them back into that one, too. I just think Dallas overall
San
is a much
Diego.
better team, and coming off the bye week.
KC.
Giants, I don't know if they – listen, it's a huge swing of momentum. Now, you lose 6 straight to start the season, and then you win these 4. I just don't think that they can keep this winning streak going. They're not that good of a team.
I think their defense is good enough, and I think they're going to show it. I think as long as Eli can kind of play within himself and not have to do too much. I'm not going to pick this game. I would love to, just
got
to go
Giants
heads
on
up
the
against
panel?
you.
I don't have the Giants, but I think this is all about Eli Manning. I think that's what this game is
And
about.
that's why the
how
Giants
well, how
are
well
gonna
is Eli Manning
lose.
going to play? And going into that, the whole combination. It seems like they got the running game going a little bit. That offensive line's played better as of late. But I still don't like those receivers, man. Hakeem Nicks, he was an X factor to me, and he hasn't played well this year. He really hasn't. He's dropped balls. He looks like a shell of himself. He's not the same kind of. He can't get that kind of separation that we were used to seeing him get. Now this is going on for a year and a half now, so maybe this is the kind of player he is. I kept waiting for him to have one of those, all right, I'm back kind of games.
Yeah.
He kind of came out last week before the Green Bay game, said, I'm feeling the touchdown. It didn't happen. It's not happening. So I think this game, if Eli Manning, and we talked about the weather conditions, but if he's got to make plays down the field, that's how they're going to have to win this game. And if they do, they're going to win. And if they don't, then I think Romo beats them.
I think the Giants defense has been playing well, and I think that everyone's selling it short because of the quarterbacks you mentioned. But I think they'll have a good game this week. I think it's a low-scoring game. I think the Giants pull it out.
I understand. I just know that they've been fighting for their lives the last couple of weeks. Dallas well rested coming off the bye week. I like Dallas in this one, getting points. So
All right.
I'm gonna chug my last one. This is for the KC Chiefs against Denver.
Do it up.
Go ahead. You go with your next one.
All right, I'm going to go with a theme this whole week. I'm taking all underdogs, but I'm going to start with Atlanta tomorrow night. I think New Orleans, coming off a tough game last week against San Fran where they barely just pulled it out. 4 days later, on the road at Atlanta. Atlanta, I think still a proud team, still trying to fight for their lives. Roddy White hopefully getting a little healthier. Jabari Greer went out for the Saints, which is going to be a tough loss for them. So I think Atlanta covers the 9.5 spread.
I think a big
Which is
thing
a
with
huge home dog, by
with
the way.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a big
very.
number. Jimmy Graham is not the same player.
Yeah,
And
he's been banged up.
I think that's huge for the Saints. He's not playing the same kind of snaps. He's not
Sproles might be out
He's
as well.
not that kind of. He's not the factor that he was early on. I mean, earlier on in the season, he was absolutely dominating, and he just can't right now. What is that? The Knicks?
Yeah, Knicks lost in overtime. They had a 3-point lead with 8 seconds left. Sorry, Nets lost too. But let's continue.
How about
with
this
the
New
NFL.
York
The
basketball
misery.
season? Unbelievable.
Terrible.
Awful.
We'll talk about it off air. I don't
right.
want to admit I'm a Nets fan.
First pick. Chicago, St. Louis is a pick 'em. I'm gonna go with Chicago. I'm taking the Bears.
At St. Louis deep and sneaky good.
St. Louis can rush a quarterback. They absolutely can. I thought they'd actually be better earlier on, but they seem to be coming to their own a little bit. I don't know. The St. Louis quarterback situation to me still,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I think the Bears, they need this game. They got to stay into that division. We're talking about how wide open it is. I think Chicago comes back. They snuck one in that tornado game against Baltimore. I think they make it 2 in a row. McCown, I think he's played all right.
He's
I
played
think
pretty solid.
I think he's a pretty good quarterback.
I think that they could have beat who they lose to, the Lions 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
If
yeah.
McCown just played the whole game instead of Cutler going in there and then hurting himself and trying to play it banged up, but
I think they have a lot more weapons offensively. Tavon Austin had the one game a couple weeks ago, but he's not that
I'm not
kind of
buying
player.
that yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So give me Chicago and a pick them to open up.
All right. Nips.
all right, I'll bring it back. Actually, Walsh, you're gonna like this one. I'm taking Tampa plus
Oh.
9.5 on the road at Detroit.
Give me the boxing bell. Give me the boxing bell.
You going against your own boys?
Gotta go against my own boys here.
Oh,
and I'll
man.
tell you,
Don't wear the Revis jersey next week if they lose.
And I tell you why.
They win or
you
cover.
got 80% of the bets right now are on Tampa Bay. This is the one thing that I do not like in this game. We've seen.
Never talks about football.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Now
Tell us about their traveling schedule.
Well, from Tampa to Detroit, No, but the thing is, listen, Tampa Bay has won 2 games in a row, 2 very emotional wins there. You got Monday night, and then you got Atlanta, who is, it's still a division rivalry, regardless of the 2 records that these guys have. Now, I don't see Chris Rainey having the same kind of week that he's had here.
Bobby Rainey.
Bob Rainey, whatever.
It's your player.
I just chugged 3 beers. Leave me alone.
Rick Ross, Bobby Rainey.
Now, with Rainey, I understand that you got yourself a nice little tool here. Believe me, I love this. Now, I don't see a future for this guy just because, Doug Martin will be back next year. I understand that he's probably playing for a contract elsewhere. I just know that, Detroit losing that game against Pittsburgh last week, we just talked about it with Chicago. They need the win to keep pace in the division. I think 9 points at home. There's a reason why that line is 9.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has been playing great these last 2 weeks. I mean,
it
appears like Shiano's got the locker room back. Like
Joe
all the
McCoy
articles that I've been reading,
very impressive.
Very
impressive.
very.
I feel like they have a lot of talent, and I feel like the one thing I really like about this is Revis against Calvin Johnson.
Interesting.
And I feel like that once you take Calvin Johnson out of the Detroit offense, and I think Revis can do that pretty well by himself. They might probably double a little. But I feel like once you could do that, you basically utilize him to Reggie Bush, and I mean, who else are they going to? Who else do they got to throw the ball to?
Durham.
And you saw it
Durham's
when Calvin Johnson was out of that game when they played Green Bay.
They're a different team. They're
That
completely
offense just
different
looked terrible.
Well, I'll tell you
Absolutely.
what. Listen, I don't think
And so-
I don't think anybody's stopping Calvin Johnson.
I don't think he's going to be able to totally shut him down, but I think Revis can basically play him to almost a draw. Like, let's say Calvin had
to 100 yards.
Yeah, if he
That's
has,
a win
That's a
against
win.
Calvin Johnson.
That's a win. If
I
you
know.
can hold him to 100 yards and no touchdowns, that's a win when you're looking at that. And I think Revis can basically do enough to slow him down, to slow that offense down, and then give that defense a chance. Like, you said Gerald McCoy. They got guys. What's the guy that was going to change his name? The free safety, Sean Golson. Is that
Right.
right?
Yeah, you got
change his
Sean
name?
Golson.
No,
you got
I'm
Mark
thinking of Whitner.
Barron.
I'm thinking of the other from
Yeah, from San
Fran.
Francisco. Yeah, listen, Tampa Bay has got some studs all around the defense. There's a reason why Detroit's favored by 9 points in this game. And
How about Mike Glennon? What do you think?
he's doing all right. He's throwing the ball downfield. Listen, Vincent Jackson. This is a guy that we haven't talked about either. He's playing out of his
playing really
mind
well.
the last couple
Absolutely.
weeks.
And Glennon loves him.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I
he's their best player.
I
I mean,
think
best
the-
offensive weapon
the
right now.
Detroit defense, they haven't done much in these last couple weeks. I think this is going to be the differentiating factor in this game. I think this is the week where, they step up and say, hey, you know what? We are a real team. Because you know what? They got this huge game coming up against Green Bay on Thanksgiving right afterwards. And,
Trap game.
they're going to be ready to roll, and I think this is going to be the game to get them ready for it. Again, the line, I know you guys hate when I talk about this stuff, but it makes sense, 9 points against a team that has won 2 straight and feels rejuvenated. And also Tampa Bay, who just came out of that, before this whole 2-game winning streak started with, they played Seattle very, very close at home. I just think that, they played out of their minds these last 3 weeks. I think it's going to be a huge letdown this week on Sunday.
All right.
All right.
Took me a while to get to that point,
yeah,
but
that was very rambling.
hey, again, 3 beers.
My next pick, one of my favorites to do. I love going against the Jets, and I'm going to do it again.
I like it.
The Jets are getting 4 points,
Become a
which
commentator.
is like Vegas saying, Vegas not sure what's going to happen in this game, the 4-point line. But I think Geno Smith, with the criticism, they haven't, they had that big game against the Saints. Ivy ran the ball effectively, but I don't see it. I think Geno, too much is swirling around. I don't think he's going to bounce back. I think that Baltimore D is going to get after him. And this is mainly a pick against the Jets, and mainly because I like doing it. I like rooting against the Jets, so I'm going to pick against them. So down.
I threw it out there before. I mean, the Jets have been terrible on the road, basically every game except for the Atlanta game. and Baltimore is a great home team. So, they're going on the road. It's tough because it's tough to call 2 terrible games by Geno in a row. But I think that's what's going to happen, too. I like that pick.
And I will third that because you take a look at the over-under on this game, 38.5. It's going to be an ugly game.
Slugfest.
It's going to be a very ugly game.
Now, Ray Rice bounced back last week. He had his first big game of the year. And, that Jets D-line is legit. I don't think they're going to be able to run it
Number one against the rush.
As well as they did last week. But maybe Ray got a little spring back, so run it enough, get that play action going. Not in love with Flacco, but that Jets secondary is not very good. It really isn't. Cromartie has not played as well as he did last year. And I think, this is a bet against Geno.
Yeah.
I don't like Geno. I think if you get to him a couple times, he gets frazzled. He's down. His confidence has to be down, and I think that's important for a young player. And I don't see them winning this game.
You're not worried about the Jets flip-flop in this one?
I don't know. I've been wrong on the Jets all year, so probably.
Yeah.
I don't care.
This is let Vern be Vern pick.
Every time.
Let the bird be bird.
The Jets knocked me out of both of my
peanut butter
goals.
bird.
What,
Peanut
Atlanta?
butter bird.
What?
Atlanta?
Tampa. Yeah.
In Tampa.
What?
Ah,
You're the
baby.
peanut butter guy. I don't even have a dog.
I just made you the peanut butter guy.
I don't have a dog.
All right, well, you want to go? Or
Not
me?
yet. Let's see. I've done 2.
I've done 2.
Molly 2. All right, I'll go on this one. Lack of the week. I'm going to go with the New England Patriots +3 over the Denver Broncos.
Well, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. I'm taking that as well.
Very nice. Very nice. Pound digs. Still waters run deep. That whatever the black guys say.
Sure, word is
What?
born.
They say that. Still waters run deep. That
Word
was
is
how
born.
high, right?
Still waters run deep. If you see still water, don't drink it. That means there's bacteria growing.
Word is bond.
If you're
run-
ever out camping or
Do you get
in Mother
runs
Nature,
deep? Nobody said anything about drinking the still
Can we
water.
say word is bond?
Jesus, well, you got to drink everything.
Can we say word is
Correct.
bond?
Word is bond. I'm going to go with
Word is
New England
bond.
in this one. I think they're going to be very pissed off from that Monday night game.
wait, if
Four-
the water's that deep,
Hey!
then it's going to circulate.
We're off.
That doesn't
We're
make
off.
any sense.
We're off. We're off, bro.
This isn't the DX show.
No?
I got no
No?
dogs in this race.
Auntie Rita is not on the phone.
I got no
anymore.
dogs in this horse. Yeah, I'm gonna go with New England in this one. Like I said, I think they're extremely pissed off. I think they're gonna take it out on Denver. Poor Peyton Manning in this one. I think he's gonna get hit a bunch of times. And to couple it, you got to look at Denver's next opponent. They're going to KC in this one. Might be looking ahead to that one. I don't know if Wes Welker's, he's a little banged up. Don't know if he's going to play. It's Wednesday. We really can't get a good read on this when we do
They
this
say he's
every
going to
week.
practice. He's not going to practice till Friday either way.
Right.
So you won't know till then which way he's going to play or not play.
I think at worst, New England pushes this at a +3. But, I like Brady and, the head-to-head matchups against Peyton Manning over the course of his career, they favor Brady heavily.
Yeah.
And Belichick knows what he's doing.
I was just
going to
say, if there's one guy that can stifle Manning, it's definitely Belichick.
Yeah, and we've seen it happen before where Denver or Indianapolis or wherever Peyton Manning is, they go in as these monsters in the midway. They're going to pass all over New England. I think it's going to be, you say that we don't.
I think
I'm gonna use a Walshy stat here. It's gonna be cold weather. It's gonna be windy in New England. If it's gonna be cold up here, it's gonna be cold there.
Do we have a new traveling secretary?
We have a new. I'm taking
an
over.
assistant. No. You're the assistant.
I'm assistant to the traveling secretary.
That's correct.
Of Fortune Sports.
Yeah,
You're getting a raise.
Costanza.
But yeah, and I think Peyton is. I still think if a defense just challenges him to throw the ball deep, he can't do it.
Can't throw it deep. He
And
can't.
I think New England will make him do that all day, and they'll press him. And I don't think Denver's defense has really shown up either. I mean, I don't know. They haven't played any good quarterback the whole season.
Well, Von Miller has to be a factor. Von Miller, it's his third or fourth game back. He's got to come off the edge and start rushing a passer. They desperately need that. They absolutely need that. You're right, though. The Denver defense has not distinguished itself at all. I didn't pick this game, but the Belichick thing. It's hard to see it with those weapons, man. And especially if that line is going to keep Brady. If they're going to protect as well as they did against Kansas City, who no doubt has a better pass rush than New
for sure.
England. I think this is a game. If you're gonna take the Pats, it's an ode to Belichick essentially. I think thinking that he could really slow them down, and I think what they're gonna do, to your point, they're gonna whack those receivers. They're gonna whack them. They're gonna make them call.
They're gonna bump
penalties.
run, grab them as much as they can, try to slow them down. I mean,
what the Colts essentially did that to those Denver receivers.
The illegal contact rule, came from New England versus
absolutely.
the Colts in that playoff game.
Bill Polian was on the. He's the one that put the
competition
rule.
set. And I think that they're going to try to do the same exact idea and make them push it deep, make them go deep, and see what Manning can do.
All right.
That's a great back-to-back Sunday night games, though, right?
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, NBC has taken over the Monday night role, basically.
Monday nights.
Yeah.
I mean, this past Monday night game was by far the best one of the year, but a lot of them have sucked.
Did you hear? There's a new rule that might take place where. You know how usually, CBS has all the all the AFC games, and then Fox has all the NFC games. There's a new rule that might come out now where they flex each other's games out. So, like a 1:00 game that would originally happen on CBS might be a 4:00 game on Fox. So there would be no conference affiliations anymore. Yeah. It would just be the best game possible.
The original 8:00 was supposed to be the Giants Green Bay game.
They flexed them out of that.
They flexed them out of that.
Thank God, because I didn't want to. I didn't want to go to the next day.
But I hope they do that because that's just better for the viewer. You want to see better games.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But how often do you see the same team on two primetime?
Yeah.
2 primetime games.
We go out and watch
week to week.
And we got the Red Zone channel. There's no affiliation. Idaho people, they need that.
Yeah, or people in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Idaho, Jacksonville.
There we go. Good segue. Nips.
Uh-oh.
I think we're both on the same underdog.
I'm taking it, baby.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's going to win the game outright.
Plus 10.
Whoa.
I think that I don't know how they drew that lineup. I don't know what they're doing in Vegas. I don't know where the money's going, Walsh. If you want to pull that up quick.
This is your lock?
No, it's my underdog.
All right.
I'll lock it up too. I'll double up.
I'll double down.
You're not gonna like this. 77%, Michael.
Is going towards Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't give a shit about that. Make it 78. I'm taking them.
Well, I mean, I didn't get to see this game. I don't know if anybody did last week with Houston, but they pulled Keenum and brought Shaw back in.
Shaw came in, and
Andre was not too pleased.
Andre wants out of there. He absolutely wants out of there. He sees it's a sinking ship.
Yeah.
Who's running the ball? I don't know. Dennis Johnson.
Spanky talked about it on the 3 things that we know on 14asports.com. Make sure you go there. He talked about it, and basically he quoted Andre Johnson. What he said is I will play out my contract, basically saying, get me the fuck out of here at this season's end. So, yeah,
Jacksonville, they're a little bit better than their start of the season. They're still not very good, but I think Houston. I'm going against Ascension. I don't like and my next pick is going to be I'm against Washington. I don't like when these teams are in controversy. I don't think it bodes well this late in the season. When the locker room's not together, I think in football that's a huge factor. Look at the Giants. The Giants could easily lay down and give credit to Coughlin. It didn't happen, and it starts at the top. Kubiak, the left side of his face is drooping. He's got a stroke.
You're so mean. You're so mean.
And they got Wade Phillips running the show.
Got to go with the left side of his face. I mean,
did you see him?
I didn't see him.
Why don't you just call him a
what?
A
Call him Bob Ross. See, you gotta watch the whole show so you get all the jokes.
Peanut butter Bob Ross.
I bring it back to the Coles news.
But anyway, 10 points, Nips. I'm with you. I think it's entirely too many for this game.
And I feel like Jacksonville, even last week, they went up early on Arizona. I think that they just got beat out. It seems like they're playing hard still. They're not giving up. Andre Ellington, I don't know what happened to him last week. I had him started on a couple teams, but he didn't do anything on the rushing game, and they couldn't rush the ball at all.
Had a touchdown.
Michael Floyd goes nuts against them
99 yard or 90-something yard touchdown.
Out of nowhere.
And we'll go to Arizona. We're not really talking about them, but if Carson Palmer could play, and Michael Floyd, you're a Notre Dame guy. Michael Floyd was
great touchdown.
Tremendous.
Great touchdown.
He was a tremendous college
absolutely.
receiver.
Absolutely.
He was very, very good.
An incredible touchdown on Sunday.
I feel like Notre Dame guys know Michael Floyd, the talent that he had. I kept waiting for this. When was he going to come?
Yeah.
Well, isn't this it's his second season, right?
Second year.
Yeah, but rookie. We talk about this all the time. Rookie wide receivers, they do not make an impact in their first year.
So now he's a year and a half in, and if he's coming into his own,
he's had some big fantasy days.
I'll tell you what, he's a guy that he's a tough matchup, single coverage. And how are you going to throw a safety over both of them?
Well,
Ellington
when you got
running
Larry
the ball.
Fitz on the other side.
I don't know why Mendenhall is still getting carries. That's upsetting.
Nah, yeah.
You
that's not- I
see,
don't get
who
either.
was that? Ellington's dreads that got ripped out in that game?
Yeah.
Oh, they got back to him,
That's
though.
awesome. Yeah, they
They
gave it
went
back
back
to
to
him.
him.
What are you going to do with those? what happens to those? I
Get
hope you donate
stitches.
to like Locks
Get
for Love
stitches,
or something.
bruh.
And I'm not going to go
Stitches.
down that road. I'm not going to go
Get
down the
your
Locks for Love
stitches
road.
back in.
Why, as a running back, why would you have dreadlocks?
Oh,
That
Doesn't
makes
make
no
any sense.
Dumb idea.
They become part of the jersey.
Or at
makes
least
no
make
sense.
it like a Whoopi Goldberg and get it
A
all up
Whoopi
meshed up in the
Goldberg.
helmet, you know?
You can't fit that
Are you
much
like-
stuff
are
in
you
the
like
helmet.
Ted-
Whoopi.
Are you a-
Whoopi.
Are you a Ted Danson guy?
Oh my God! My father would kill me.
But
You know what? He legitimately might. Imagine you brought Shaniqua.
Imagine Kelly Oates with Shaniqua Holmes.
Oh, perfect.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
all right, yeah,
that was
I'm backing up Mully here on Jacksonville. I think we probably covered that one enough.
Give me a sign of mass.
Is that an
no
upset or a
Shaniqua
lock?
need apply.
Is it an upset or a lock?
Whatever you
I'm
want
not
to put
saying
in
I'd
there.
put the sign up.
You gotta write them in. I forgot.
I'll upset. I'll lock it down. I'll upset it down.
All right, so you got all four of yours in.
No, my lock. All right, so I touch on it real quick. San Francisco laying 5 against Washington. Washington again, a team of dissension. When Santana Moss, who not the stud receiver, but Santana Moss has been around the league.
Yeah, a vet for sure.
A veteran player,
Serviceable
a quality
wide
player,
receiver.
quality player. When he's coming out saying, "Dude, you got to take responsibility." That doesn't bode well. That means that there's that this has been going on for a while. Is what that means. That RG3. Maybe they think he's up on some kind of pedestal. Either way, you don't like it.
Listen,
And actually,
bro, your socks suck. Buckwheat, take control of the team. That's basically what he was saying.
But Shanahan and RG3 weren't on the same page in the preseason. If you
Well,
remember.
Shanahan might be gone after the year because this whole thing with RG3 is not working out at all.
No, it doesn't seem like it. And the whole Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan dynamic, I don't like that whole dynamic with the father-son thing. I don't think that plays. I really don't. I don't think that's a healthy combination at all. San Fran, they should have beat the Saints in New Orleans, right? They had that game. The Ahmad Brooks play was, terrible play. But that Redskins defense is awful. They've given up the most fantasy points to tight ends, and so Vernon Davis looked to him to have a huge game. Michael Crabtree's gone his way back. Manningham's back. So I think San Francisco, with that defense, I think they easily run over Washington. So I'll easily lay those 5 and lock San Francisco up.
And San Fran's really, Arizona's 6-4.
Arizona's a good team.
The predictor.
I
predictor.
I had
Gotta
them,
have that
the
guy.
over-under on Arizona coming into the year was only 5.5, so I already walked that one. But, yeah, the
Boom.
predictor was on them. But
yeah, San Fran's really got to start fighting for the playoff life. Really.
absolutely, 100%. That division with Seattle up there, it's kind of slipping away from them a little bit. But I think there's more talent in that San Francisco team. I love Harbaugh as a coach. I think he's a very good coach. And that Washington team, if they have to win on offense, right? They're not stopping anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And if that offense isn't clicking, then I don't think they have any shot.
This might be your best pick of all
And-
time.
and if
San Francisco is going to blow it might be like
Yeah.
47 to
I was
14.
gonna say, if
something along
Kaepernick's gonna
those
have a
lines.
game where it's like one of those maybe he's
back.
back, maybe he finally broke it.
Monday night.
It's probably
This
gonna be
Giants-
this
Against
game.
this defense, too.
Oh my God, they are horrendous.
Yeah, they're bad.
Except when San Diego's on the goal line. Beautiful segue to my upset of the week. I'm going to go with San Diego plus 5 over the Kansas City Chiefs. I think San Diego is actually a better team than Kansas City. I like what Phillip Rivers has done with the offense over the course of the season. Maybe not last week or the last couple of weeks, but I think that they have enough guys that can hang with these guys. Phillip Rivers, I think, is going to have a day in this one. Okay, I know that Kansas City has Denver coming up next week, and I think they're going to be looking ahead to that. I think they're going to lose this week, but I think they're going to beat Denver next week because I thought that they were going to split with Denver. KC, I guess, eventually will win that division out, but I like San Diego fighting for their playoff lives this week. They're still very alive in this AFC playoff race, with the Jets and the Dolphins and all these other teams that are involved there. They got to get a win. I think they get it done here at Arrowhead. They get it done this
Yeah,
Sunday.
I don't like it.
No, I don't either.
Kenyon Allen's banged up, probably their number one weapon.
No, he practiced today. He's going to play.
Is he playing?
Yeah.
But, I mean, like Mully kind of said before, San Diego just
They find ways to lose.
snatches defeat out of the jaws of victory. And, it just, I don't know what it is with the team.
Cliche.
It just, they never show up in the clutch. I mean, I don't know what you got them at, plus 4.5, plus 5.
Yeah, 5.5.
And I think KC knows that they need this game. And it's at Arrowhead on the road where KC plays great all the time. I know that crowd's coming. I don't see it happening.
I think they come with I think they win the game because of they got Denver coming up. They just lost. I think they're gonna get after Rivers a little bit. That they're gonna rush the passer to come with some blitzes. I think they're gonna get there. I don't like the San Diego.
And I couldn't name one guy on San Diego's defense. I'll be honest right now.
Teo, not having a huge year.
Is he invisible?
Yeah.
Eric Weddle, probably the best free safety in the game. However, what I'm thinking here is they got Denver coming up next week. They might be looking ahead to them. Yes, KC could probably
Where's
win.
all the money?
What do we got here? 65% on Kansas City. I didn't even look at that. But I look at this line, and I think, holy shit, like 4.5. Like, that's not that big at all.
Vegas zone.
Kansas City, they're definitely going to own the bets come Sunday. They're going to probably have 75% of the bets by then. You take a look at that line. That's nothing. That's essentially a
five.
That's essentially a field goal.
A field goal and a safety.
It's kind of like
5.
It's a field goal with a safety.
This is not math class.
This is
trying to reason.
You take the
made
3,
a field goal,
but
and a safety,
Nah,
and
the
then
field
subtracted
goal.
1, and then got another
Plus a
safety. That'd be plus
safety.
2.
The one thing that I look at
And
here
then
is I know that
somehow you get 5.
I know
Minus an extra point, Micah.
I know that San Diego lost at Miami last week.
That's a 4, and then we bought the point.
I understand this. I completely understand that, and I understand why everybody would probably be going against me. But I love San Diego in this game. I just think that some deep balls here and there.
We should do a chug just for this one. A beer each just on this one, just because we're killing Walsh for this.
Can we
game.
get one? All right. Can we get some beers up to the
No,
stage?
tomorrow.
Oh, well, I mean for next week. Whoever wins.
Okay.
You got to do 2 to
We'll save
our
them for
1.
the after party.
Listen,
You got to do 2 to our 1.
here's what I propose. We all go to Dave and Buster's.
That's where I take my nephew.
How about
Do we
that?
want to
to
talk
Dave
about
and
that?
Buster's?
I don't
Oh,
even
man.
get that story. What
It's
was
so
the big
stupid.
deal?
It was stupid.
I don't know why that was a
I
story.
tell you what,
Boomer and
we're
Carton-
running kind of late. But go
We
ahead.
started late.
Go ahead, Nick.
You know what? You're right. I forgot.
Boomer
about
and Carton
that.
said
I
this
forgot.
guy, the reporter from the Post or whoever it was, fabricated the story. No one knew about it. But what was the big deal about him taking Dave and Buster's?
Because it was the night before a divisional game, a huge game.
I don't think it
You don't
had
wanna
any-
do that.
It didn't mean anything. But you know
What
what?
are the guys doing anyway? They sit in the hotel
No,
room,
no.
jacking off.
How about that?
Well, no,
Hopefully
you don't
their-
want to lose your testosterone.
Hopefully their
brother.
mom doesn't walk in, but
Wow. Hopefully, there's no peanut butter in the room.
or potted plants.
Dangerphiliacs!
I love Namath. Namath was getting interviewed on the radio, and they were like, "Joe, what are you thinking of that?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "What'd they do it for? Bonding? Team they have to bond? They're doing bonding? Who's David Buster?"
Let me kiss
It was
Susie.
about. It was It was right up there.
Joe
with Skis and
Namath
Susie.
hates the Jets. He does not like them
Yeah,
one bit.
probably
Woody
wants to
Johnson.
vilify.
Neither does Francesa, and I love him for
Well,
it.
All right. Let's get to Richie's picks before we head out of here for the evening. Richie,
how did Richie do last week?
2-2, I believe.
Oh,
I went heads up with him.
Yeah, 2-2. Well,
off the hot
now
streak.
you have to get an IV. That's a low blow.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Rich has Dallas +3. What a great-minded fella. That's his
A
lock of the
lock.
week.
Hello.
Miami +5 is his upset of the week. Likes the Bears +1. There you go, Molly. He likes the over 46.5 of the Dallas Giants game.
Oh, man.
And then you know what the nerve of this motherfucker. You know what he said
What
to
did
me
he tell
in an
us?
email? He goes, "I'm going to give a bonus pick because I'm that good." From
Got
the
some
hospital
nerve.
bet. He's got some fucking
Richie
nerve.
K,
But
killing it.
his bonus pick, Nipsey would love it. Atlanta plus the 8.5, but it's at 9.5. We'll give it to him.
Sure.
That's fine.
I'll buy the point.
So
I'll buy 5 points.
those are the picks of the week.
All right. So what do you
I love this segment so much.
what do you got on tap for this week?
Apple Sunday.
Yeah,
We're gonna do that.
we'll talk
Are you guys
about it.
going?
Yeah, we
You
gotta
guys
talk
doing
about
this?
it.
I don't know.
I'll be live at the Dallas game, Giants Dallas game.
Sure.
Well, yeah,
we
we'll
might just give you the
simulcast
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'll just.
That's what we'll do. We'll just take the camera to the Apple.
Okay.
We won't do a setup.
I'll bring it to the tailgate, Giant Stadium.
All right. We'll talk about it.
I got an extra parking pass.
Thanks.
Well, no, I'm saying bring the.
I can just bring my peanut butter and get right in.
So you want? Yeah. What time's the game?
4:30.
It's a 4:30 guy.
So it's a solid. I mean, you'll miss all the ones, but
That means I have to
Again.
drive.
Again.
Not happening.
Take the transit out there.
Not doing that.
Not
Stop
happening. Not happening.
Oh, well,
All
thanks
right.
for the offer.
So, on behalf of the whole 14A Sports
Oh
panel.
wait. Are we doing Monday? Are we doing the 902 Brewer thing? Is that next Monday?
Is it? I thought that was in December.
I thought it was the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Well, I have work, so I'm out.
He's out. We can do it. We'll
right,
talk.
we'll talk about
We'll talk. On behalf of the whole 14A Sports team, make sure you wish Coles a happy birthday on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the hell you do it. If you see her in the streets, big thanks to Pete Vincent for coming out tonight. Rose Barisi, always in the studio.
RZ.
She did a great job today preparing the whole Cole's birthday
Well done.
thing. Gotta give her some peanut butter. Decision Dave, always our new guy on the ones and the twos.
Oh, real quick, that Instagram video we did. I
That
had a
killed
couple
it.
people. Yeah, really liked it.
That killed it. They
Big
loved
fans.
it. All right, we're out of here for the evening. We are 14A Sports on 15 Minutes of Fame Radio. We will see you next Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve. Peace.
Yeah, Jeets.
15 minutes of fame. Let's go.